What's up, fam? This your boy Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. It's over with for Diddy. He ain't never getting out of prison. I have officially hopped off his bandwagon. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At first I had a lot of hope that Diddy could potentially beat this case. But after hearing a testimony from his former assistant today, ain't no way in hell he's getting off, and I'll explain why. You guys remember when Cassie testified against Diddy? Everybody was calling her the star witness and we all was unimpressed. We all agreed in unison that it wasn't strong enough. We was like, yeah, Diddy might have whooped your ass every once in a while, but you was complicit in them freak-offs. You like that dirty stuff. We all seen the text messages of you begging for more, right? So we all kind of dismissed Cassie's testimony. And then Don Rashard, the ex-Diddy came and hopped on the stand. She testified against Diddy, and we felt the same way about her. Because Don Rashard said she witnessed Diddy be abusive, he was assaulting her, he caused emotional distress, but you also was exposed in text messages trying to work with Diddy at a later date, right? So we was kind of like, man, she bull crapping. That ain't strong enough neither. And then Kid Cudi hopped on the stand. He showed up to court, he smoking a cigarette, he had all that tight shit on, and he hopped on the stand and he was like, Diddy blew up my car. My car just blew up in the driveway. And then we seen the pictures, the little bitty ass burn marks. You know, he might have hit the top of the car. The leather seats was kind of tore up, but he didn't blow up your car. And then Kid Cudi didn't even really have evidence. It was no video evidence, wasn't no DNA. So we kind of dismissed Kid Cudi. We was like, yeah, it could have been Diddy, but it could have been somebody else, right? And then today, Diddy former assistant hopped on the stand, and her testimony was strong, man. She said Diddy kidnapped her, held her hostage for 5 days after accusing her of stealing his jewelry. He forced her to take a lie detector test. And then she also said that Diddy also forced her to ride to Kid Cudi's house the day he blew it up and the day he vandalized it. So I'm like, damn, that's the nail in the coffin. Because everybody keep focusing on the trafficking. Diddy didn't traffic anybody. They all was adults. But we tend to forget that Diddy also got a RICO, meaning anytime you're the head of an operation, anytime you use your influence, you use your power, you use your money to commit crimes and get other people involved, that's all you need for a RICO, right? So I'm like, man, Diddy's out of here, man. I was like, yeah, I feel like Diddy is guilty on some of these things, but I also feel like these are trumped up charges because I'm looking at everybody's testimony. I'm looking at people accusing Diddy of this, accusing Diddy of that. I'm like, when do it end? You got Cassie accusing him. You got Don Rashard accusing him. You got 2 former assistants testifying. You even got a grown-ass man named Lil Rod, big burly-ass dude talking about Diddy violated him, right? So I'm like, man, this is just going too far. Yes, I think Diddy's a bad dude. I don't think Diddy's a good person. Everybody ain't lying on you. I know a lot of people like to be in denial. A lot of people like to be optimistic. They like to be hopeful. But I'm here to tell you, Diddy's not getting away. If I was Diddy, I would just take the plea deal. And then the former assistant also did more damning testimony. She said, you know Diddy tried to kill 50 Cent? You know Diddy wanted to kill Suge Knight? And everybody was like, wait a minute, hold up, what? Now we knew 50 Cent and Diddy had a feud. We knew 50 Cent and Diddy didn't like each other. But the former assistant is saying Diddy had that pistol in his waistband, and he always said he had a problem with 50 Cent, and he was going to take care of it using that weapon. And once that hit the blogs, once that hit the news, everybody was like, man, this is damning evidence. We got other celebrities getting name dropped. What type of stuff was Diddy on? And that's how I'm looking at Diddy. You're a billionaire. Worth millions of dollars. Cassie ain't worth all that. You could have anyone. What you tripping on Cassie for? If she want to date Kid Cudi, you should have kicked her to the curb and let her go. You trying to blow up people's vehicles. You breaking in nigga houses. You a whole maniac. And I think you stupid too, because I'm Diddy. I'm worth all these millions. I got these broke ass assistants, all these broke people who can't sell a record around me. I'm doing all this stuff. I should know to myself, if they ever go broke, they might write a book. They might do a documentary, and they might just expose my ass for a quick buck, just like they doing now. So Diddy should have known better. I actually thought Diddy moved smarter. I actually thought he was a mogul, but it seemed like Diddy a little slow, man. it seems like his IQ is 75. I'm just being honest with you guys. He left too much meat on the table. It's easy. This is a slam dunk case now. I don't want to hear nobody being optimistic. We heard the testimony. Diddy got an uphill battle. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, let me play this clip of detailing what exactly happened in court today, because it was shocking. Let's go.
Sean Diddy Combs back in court for week 3 of his sex trafficking and racketeering trial in New York City. Maintaining his innocence as an ex-assistant takes the stand with damning testimony.
The prosecution may have been trying to make an argument for the kidnapping, which is part of the bigger criminal enterprise racketeering charge that Combs is facing.
Capricorn Clark on the stand Tuesday, claiming the music mogul kidnapped her in 2011, taking her to Kid Cudi's home, which she claims he broke into, matching the rapper's own testimony from last week.
He described seeing gifts that were unwrapped and that his dog was locked away in the bathroom. So he believed that someone had broken into his house, and he testified that he believed that person was Sean Combs.
Now let me stop it right there. I'm gonna tell you where Diddy messed up. If you want to get back on Kid Cudi, if you feel slighted, you think he took your woman, so now you mad and you want to get some get back, you don't take your female assistant on the drill with you. So you gonna grab your assistant. You gonna say, yeah, we going to Kid Cudi house, and you gonna break into his house. You gonna vandalize his property. You gonna set his car on fire, and you don't think your assistant is gonna spill the beans? She's not from the streets. An assistant is just that, an assistant. You supposed to have goons do that. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not advocating anybody do that. I'm not advocating violence. But if you gonna go on a drill, you gonna put in some dirty work, you can't use your assistant as a defendant. I'm just being real. And she a female too. She don't live that lifestyle. So that's rule number 1. But let's continue.
Over the weekend, Diddy's legal team reportedly asked the judge to throw out part of Cudi's testimony about Diddy allegedly bombing his car.
The defense pointed out that there was no forensic evidence, no video evidence of Sean Combs being a part of that break-in, and then more importantly, that Molotov cocktail that was thrown inside Kid Cudi's Porsche 911.
Now let me stop it right there. I'll be honest with you guys. They kept saying Diddy bombed the Kid Cudi car. Kid Cudi car exploded. So I was very let down once I seen the pictures. I thought it was blown up to the smithereens. I didn't know it just had a couple of burn marks. The seats was a little burned. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he probably lit something on fire and threw it inside the car, but they made it seem like Diddy added an explosive device to Kid Cudi car and just exploded. That's what I was expecting to see. So I was very well let down. But I get arson is a very serious crime. You can get hit with the RICO on that. So yeah, let's continue.
And I think when we think about where is the racketeering, where is the criminal conspiracy, part of the criminal conspiracy lays out arson as one of the elements. So this is possibly being able to show the arson.
Capricorn, who worked for Diddy from 2004 until 2020, also claimed to have heard him make threats on rap rivals Suge Knight and 50 Cent.
Now let's stop it right there. If Diddy is everything they say he is, if they say he's a narcissist, if they say he's violent, if they say he's an abuser, are you surprised that Diddy made threats against 50 Cent and Suge Knight life? Because let's look at the history. Suge Knight and P. Diddy beef go back to the 90s. You know, the East Coast versus West Coast, Tupac versus Biggie. Tupac was taken out in Vegas. Biggie was taken out in LA. And Suge Knight and Diddy been at odds ever since. So it's not very surprising that Diddy wanted Suge Knight the hell up out of here, right? I'm just being real. And then you look at 50 Cent and Diddy relationship. At one point in time, they was kind of cool. 50 Cent was writing for Diddy. And then their relationship went sour. And 50 Cent was trolling Diddy. Diddy was talking back to him. You know, they were messing with the same women. You know how that get. So I'm not surprised neither. Because they saying Diddy is a bad dude. They saying Diddy is violent. They say Diddy like the weapons. I'm not surprised hearing that he wanted 50 Cent and Suge Knight dead. I'm just being honest with you guys. Let's continue.
all while detailing the hostile work environment that another former assistant, George Kaplan, testified about in court last week.
I think what was interesting for jurors to hear, though, is for him to talk about sort of this violence that he saw and this rage that he describes Combs having.
Capricorn told jurors she was forced to take lie detector tests as an employee, alleging she was held against her will for days on end until the results were to Diddy's liking, all while allegedly suffering physical abuse at the hands of the embattled star.
Now let me say this. If Diddy kidnapping you, he accused you of stealing his jewelry. He kidnapped you for 5 days. He forced you to take multiple lie detector tests. Once he let you go, why you didn't go to the police? Why you didn't tell the police, hey man, I was kidnapped against my will. I was forced to take a polygraph test. I'll tell you why you didn't do it. Because you like that money you was making. You like that access to Diddy. See, that's why Diddy did all the things he allegedly did. That's why he was narcissist. That's why he would treat people like crap. Because he know y'all was going to keep coming back. He knew he has the power. He know he can treat you any type of way and you'll never run to the police because you want what he got. You want that money, you want that notoriety, and you want that image attached to Diddy. That's why all y'all kept coming back to him. Y'all say he did this, y'all said he do that, but y'all are caught on emails and text messages begging Diddy to be in his presence, begging Diddy to work with him again. Come on, y'all. I can put some of this on Diddy. I ain't putting all of it on Diddy. I think these are trumped up charges. I think they overcharging Diddy. Get this nigga 3 years and let him walk. Yeah, that's how I look at it. But let's continue.
With each witness, we get a better understanding and picture of what the prosecution is saying, but the defense always has this opportunity to sow doubt into the credibility of each person, or just try to make a case, obviously, for Sean Combs. So it becomes this sort of back and forth, and the details some days are very interesting, fascinating, and honestly sometimes hard to even report on. But I think we just are all waiting to see where is this going.
Okay, y'all heard that? Now it was a reporter that was in the courtroom. She gave insight and she broke it down beautifully, and she actually said something very interesting that was testified during the courtroom. So I'm gonna play you guys her video and we're gonna break it down some more, because what she says is shocking in this video. Let's go.
Hey guys, Diddy, week 3, day 10. We have a lot to get through and I forgot my AirPods, so bear with me. We started off this morning with Capricorn Clark. She's a former Diddy assistant, former marketing manager for Sean John. She then was promoted to a global marketing manager, and then also she was Cassie's brand manager as well. She worked for Diddy on and off from 2004 to 2018, and then had another conversation about working with him in 2024, believe it or not, but we'll get there. And she met him in 2002, and they were actually hanging out as friends through a mutual friend of hers named Jeanette that she talked about. And in 2004, she was contacted by a headhunter that said, hey, you'd be perfect for this position of an executive assistant, because she previously worked at Def Jam Records, so she had experience. And then she said that she called Diddy because they were friends, or she called him Puff, and he said, yeah, hey, come work for me. Now, she says that one of her really good friends, or her best friends, has kids with Suge Knight. So on her first day of work, she described that Diddy and a security guard took her out into Central Park at 9 o'clock at night, or after 9, and basically said, if anything happens with Suge, we'll have to kill you. And
who believe that? I'm not sure I believe that, man. I don't believe Diddy hired you as an assistant, and on your first day on the job, they take you to Central Park at night. They surround you and say, you know, if anything happened to Suge, because we plan on killing him, we're going to have to kill you as well, because you might know a little too much. I don't believe that. This like some movie type stuff, man. I don't think Diddy was that bad. That is insane. If Diddy was doing all this is insane, man. And I just don't believe it. Some of these testimony, man, it's like something out of a goddamn movie. But let's continue.
She also, she actually told us that one of the bodyguards that we had been hearing about quite frequently, Rube and D-Rock, were brothers. Just a fact. I didn't know that. You know what? School just like got out or something. I want to kind of move. So she also testified. Oh, she talked about 50 Cent. So I don't know what year this was, but she said that Diddy was doing a press event with 50 Cent at MTV, and they actually shared the same manager at this point, and his name was Chris Lighty. And she said that Chris Lighty and herself and Diddy got into an elevator, and Diddy was having a problem with 50 Cent, and he said something like, you know, I don't like the back and forth, I like guns. So that was a moment where we kind of heard about this feud between 50 Cent and Diddy.
Now, we all heard about the 50 Cent and Diddy feud, them going back and forth, and it seemed like 50 Cent was always picking on Diddy. It seemed like he was always sneak dissing, he was always throwing shots at Diddy, and it seemed like Diddy kind of was ignoring him. But now we found out more about this feud, because 50 Cent got a child with a woman whose Diddy was seeing. She all in videos with Diddy. She's massaging Diddy back. So I think Diddy got the ultimate get back on 50 Cent. Because when Diddy was free, he turned 50 Cent baby mama allegedly into his slave. That's what they were saying. I'm saying allegedly. I don't know if that's true. I just seen her on videos with Diddy rubbing his back, you know, this and that. So I think 50 Cent kind of got an issue with Diddy over that too. Like, dang, man, we was already beefing. And then you gonna take my baby mama and turn her into an allegedly slave? Oh yeah, it's forever beef now. So I think that's why him and 50 Cent was kind of at odds with each other. Cause I think Diddy took it a little too far. You took your op baby mama and you got her rubbing your back, rubbing your feet, you know, all type of crazy stuff. Living with you sometimes. That's crazy. But let's continue.
Now, hold on, I'm moving. Sorry for the close up. I gotta move. These kids are super loud. Okay, so she also talked about how Diddy borrowed jewelry from Jacob the jeweler, diamond necklace, a bunch of expensive jewelry, and she was in charge of it, and the jewelry was stolen. It went missing, and she talked about how she was taken, basically she had to go, you know, home from this trip when the jewelry was taken, and she was picked up the next day by Uncle Paulie, his main security guard at the time, and she was brought to this deserted building. And she said that the door locked on the outside, and actually that building turned out to be one of his future offices, but at the time it was like really run down and gross. She said she was brought up to the 6th floor, and she was greeted by, you know, a man, which she described as 5 times her size, chain smoking at this table in the middle of the room. And she said that she was made to take a polygraph for 5 days straight. She could go home, you know, in between, but she described being terrified and really having no choice.
Wait a minute. So you was kidnapped? What you mean you can go home? That ain't kidnapping. See, I get what Diddy was saying. Diddy is saying, hey, you're in charge of this jury. It comes up missing. I gotta hold you accountable. I need you to take this polygraph test. She's calling it kidnapping, but if she can leave and go home, see her kids, see her boyfriend, how is that kidnapping? You show up to work the next day. You had a choice. All right, Diddy tripping, he's mad at me. I don't want to come to work the next day, but you kept showing up. Let's just be real about some of this stuff, man. This is nonsense. And I'm going to blame Diddy too, man. If you felt like she did something to your jury, you felt like she made a mistake, the jury came amiss, and you want to hold her accountable, fire her ass. That's all you got to do. Don't keep nobody around. If you got to do all that, make them take polygraph tests. If you don't believe them, just fire them. Cut the dead weight. And that's what I think Diddy messed up at. He kept a lot of people that was talentless, didn't have his best interests at heart. He kept them around. He should have been went away with some of these people. I'm just being honest. But I ain't gonna play the rest of this, man. She did a great job explaining what else happened, but that's the gist of it. I'm off the Diddy bandwagon. Call me what y'all want. Y'all can remain hopeful. Y'all can be optimistic. I just don't see how Diddy beating this, man. The public is against him. Everybody, man. And you know, 50 Cent name is being brought up. You know 50 Cent was going to take a jab at Diddy. Because once his name was brought up in court, 50 Cent wasted no time hopping on Instagram to throw another shot at Diddy. And this is how 50 Cent responded to the testimony that Diddy tried to kill him. Take a look at this. Boom! That's what 50 Cent posted on IG. He said, oh my goodness. Itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm going to hide out at the playoff game tonight. Laugh out loud at 50 Cent. So yeah, that's what 50 Cent respond with. But I want to know how you guys respond. Do you think Diddy is going to beat this case, or do you think his former assistant put the nail in his coffin? I think it's over. I don't see a way of Diddy getting out of this. I don't see a way of Diddy beating this. I think he's going to have to do a lot of time behind it, unfortunately. Yes, I think he was railroaded. Yes, I think some people was lying in their testimony. Some people was adding extras to it. I believe all that. But it ain't about what I believe. It's about what the jury believes. And unfortunately, I think the jury is going to side with the victims. Let me know in the comment section. Share this video. I love you guys. Peace.